Well, I think there's a big shift that is one where we've cared so much about productivity and communication, and that's what we've used technology for. And I think that what happens is you take that drive toward productivity as a value to an extreme, or toward communication, the me and everyone else network, to an extreme, and what happens is that you do become exhausted, overwhelmed, unfulfilled, and then this yearning begins to grow within you for quality of life. You know, do I have the quality of life I want? Do I have the sense of meaning in my life? I have the me and everyone else network on Facebook, but do I have the meaningful network of people that I actually really do want to be relating to? You have, you have this interest that we're starting to see in neuroplasticity. How can I really use my brain? How can I have human performance? How can I be more embodied? How can I enjoy the moments when I'm with my family or with my friends, or when I am on technology? How can I go from thinking and doing to sensing and feeling? So I think that we have a kind of homeostasis, if you will, just like we have homeostasis as individuals physiologically. I think that culturally and psychologically we also have homeostasis, and that we've gone really far over in this drive toward productivity and in this drive toward connection. And I think that where we're moving toward is the healing part of that. And I think that you see signs of that everywhere. And our first steps may be this tyrannical software that tries to manage our attention. But I think those are just the first steps. And as we take further steps into it, those further steps are going to be more about things that actually are more resonant, more nurturing, like how do I stay embodied when I'm at the computer, rather than how does the computer tell me how I'm screwed up.
That sounds like a sort of a reclaiming of our self-control, for one, maybe identity in there too, with roles and prioritizing what we want out of life, all that part of it. So the well-being, I guess, is our next step.
Actually, I love the word resilience, and I love to think about individual resilience, and I love to think about cultural resilience. And so how are we resilient? I think well-being was something that we wanted to achieve, that was a definition of health that we used in the 20th century. And I think in the 21st century, my definition of health, I know, is resilience. How well can I bounce back? How well can I adapt? That's a healthy organism, not one that just can get to this state, but one that really has a range of states and can fluidly move. And I feel so strongly, we were talking about continuous partial attention before. I feel so strongly that there isn't a holy grail of attention, that we are these resilient beings who have an ability to be focused, to be semi-focused, to use continuous partial attention, to be fully in fight or flight. We have a whole span of orientations and strategies toward attention. It's important to resiliently, flexibly, as we wish, use all of those strategies, and not to say focus is the way to be, or wandering mind is the way to be, or continuous partial attention is the way to be. I think a classroom that involves activities that require a mix of these things is going to create the most resilient, or facilitate the development of the most resilient children or adults, as they grow up.